James Bond, who only has to make love to a woman and she starts to hear heavenly choir singing. She repents and immediately returns to the side of right and virtue. But not this one.
La 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 la. Films are not just stories we watch. They are machines that quietly build us. Long before we have the language to describe our inner lives, cinema is already teaching us what love looks like, what danger feels like, what death means, and crucially to the topic of this essay, what desire is. For many of us, these lessons arrive far earlier on a screen than they ever do in real life. That was certainly true for me. I was raised by Sean Connery purists. His Bond movies were treated with respect in our house. Before I was 10, 007 had already introduced me to espionage, intrigue, murder, conspiracy, geopolitics, glamorous foreign countries, and yes, before I could properly name it, 007 introduced me to eroticism, sexuality, and the strange, bewildering electricity of attraction. And the woman who first short-circuited my nervous system, who first made me understand that desire could feel like a live wire, was Fiona Volpe in Thunderball. One look at that red hair and that predatory smile, and I was done. I was finished. I was cooked. It was over for me, gang. Fiona Volpe arrives as something new because she is, quite deliberately, the anti-Bond girl. By the time Thunderball came along, the series already had a blueprint. 3 films, a set of expectations providing a rhythm to Bond's conquests. The Bond girl, as a rule, was glamorous, seductive, and ultimately malleable. She might flirt, she might resist, but Bond's charm and his frankly mythical sexual superpower would inevitably bring her around. Heavenly choirs would sing, and she would melt into his orbit. Fiona rejects almost all of that. Yes, she's staggeringly sexy, but her sexiness is not coy, not inviting, not forgiving. It's sharp. Weaponized, unapologetically carnal. She's not a woman who needs saving, reforming, or converting. She is a femme fatale in the truest sense, dangerous, self-possessed, and, remarkably, irredeemable. Bond's magic doesn't work on her. If anything, she seems amused by the attempt, if not insulted. This is why, to me, she is a pitch-perfect villain. Luciana Paluzzi's performance is magnetic, cool, precise, sly, and deliciously cruel. Every moment she's on screen, Thunderball becomes her movie. She steals it effortlessly, like she steals every room she enters. Ever since Fiona Volpe, redheads have been a lifelong weakness of mine. That's not just personal trivia, it's a testament to how indelibly she imprinted herself on me as a template of beautiful danger. What makes Fiona so fascinating is that female cruelty operates differently from male cruelty. Thunderball is obsessed with water, with depths, with pressure, suffocation, scuba action, and hidden threats beneath the surface. Once Fiona has your desire as an audience member, you feel almost viscerally, like she's pulling you underwater with her, and you kind of want her to. Femme fatales like Volpe expose the uneasy intimacy between masculine self-destruction and masculine desire, the urge not just to defeat evil, but to understand it, flirt with it, even submit to it for a moment. Fiona doesn't just threaten Bond physically. She tempts him psychologically, ideologically, erotically, archetypally. Bed frames can feel like a cage to her kind of character, but it's a prison where she's in control and everyone is an inmate. Let's be honest. Fiona Volpe might be the most dangerously, infuriatingly, intoxicatingly fuckable woman in the entire Bond canon. I find her irresistible, but the Bond series has always enjoyed a surplus of physically perfect women. Fiona Volpe's different, though. She's a difficult woman that Bond cannot simply solve with a smirk and a quip. She's not there to be won, tamed, or folded neatly into his fantasy. She is a true mistress of Spectre. Intelligent, commanding, and utterly dominant. She is, in every sense, the definition of gorgeous danger. But more than that, she is the first Bond woman who fundamentally refuses the narrative Bond wants to place her in. She will not become his morally or romantically. She will not be absorbed. She operates on two levels at once. As a male fantasy, she is hyper-stylized, glamorous, theatrical, almost cartoonishly seductive, a walking, smoking, driving embodiment of erotic danger. Every gesture feels designed to provoke, to mesmerize, to destabilize. She's a provocative force. Yet simultaneously, she is something genuinely unsettling. She's ideologically committed to Spectre. She's not particularly interested in Bond beyond using him, manipulating him, or outplaying him. She is fully capable, not a sexy accessory to evil, but a powerful agent within it. That duality is what makes her so intoxicating. She is both dream and nightmare. Fiona Volpe is a character designed to be desired, feared, and ultimately destroyed. That is the cruel logic of the Bond universe. And while she is on screen, she feels frighteningly autonomous. The traditional Bond girl is meant to be domesticated into Bond's world, to be softened, reshaped, or redeemed by him. Fiona Volpe is the woman who refuses assimilation. She does not bend, she doesn't waver, and she does not apologize. And that's precisely why the film cannot allow her to live. Her existence is a threat to the fantasy Bond depends on. The fantasy that he can conquer, convert, or charm every beautiful woman he encounters. Fiona's death functions as both punishment and grim acknowledgement. It punishes her for refusing Bond, for being too independent, too dangerous, too unmanageable. But it also implicitly testifies to her power. The narrative must eliminate her because she is simply too formidable to coexist with the myth of 007. That's how Bond films can be so brilliant. They playfully challenge their own systems. Thunderball is truly a beautiful, brilliant film. As an aside, ever since I was a kid, I always loved the long underwater action sequences. That's something modern audiences seem to have difficulty with, but I still find the whole damn thing super exciting and inventive. Ultimately, the film's secret weapon is its femme fatale. Fiona Volpe is not just a villain, not just a femme fatale, not just a sex symbol. She is a rupture in the Bond formula, a breathtaking, lethal, unforgettable rejection of what a Bond girl is supposed to be. Fiona set the standard that all future Bond femme fatales must live up to, and that is exactly why, more than a half century later, she still feels alive, dangerous, and mind-blowingly irresistible. Thanks for watching. I am the rejected Bond villain.
One of my friends sits this one out. She's just dead.